Boys, I'm fucking pissed. To start this off, I just kind of want to rant a little bit. I had a bunch of footage recorded, including what you're seeing right now, of this week's workouts, and I was planning to make 3 separate videos, kind of vlog style, and have fun with them, but Vegas Pro, the editing software that I'm using, is a piece of shit, and it's completely unstable. So I ended up getting done with the first project, but it crashed every time I try to render, making like all the work obsolete, and that really ticked me off. I had no motivation to upload anything at that point, so I'm working on this one right now. It's almost done, just got to make this voiceover. We got squats, tempo pause squats. Again, still taking things fairly slow for the knee, but at the very least the variation has changed. Alex and I were both really surprised at like how heavy I managed to go on the pause squats. The pauses weren't anything super consistent. It's about a second pause right there. I got really unstable for a second, almost tipped backward, but yeah, they felt really good. Again, surprising because this is around the same amount of weight I was doing for regular tempos, so that's very interesting. I had 3 top sets and a back off at 335. I moved pretty well post session. I felt really great. I had accessories recorded, but I'd rather not throw them into this video because it would take way too long. Yeah, I was about to make 3 separate videos, all for squat, bench, and deadlift, and talk about a bunch of stuff, make the video somewhat fun to watch, but yeah, that's all gone. Everything interesting is still days 1 through 3. In terms of specifics for the actual program, I'm not doing Larson press anymore. It's just bench. I think the day that I usually do Larson press, instead I'm doing a closer grip 3 count tempo with no pause. However, this bench session that you'll see is regular comp bench. I had a top single RP5. I went ahead and chose 275 as the weight, and in terms of how it felt like a 5. The amount of effort that I was putting into the rep, but the bench setup here really sucks at this gym. They don't have freestanding like benches. Apparently it's like a safety issue, which, you know, I call bullshit on, and I had to make do with this. The benches are really low to the ground, and it's felt like dog shit for 2 weeks because of this. However, yesterday, day 4, I was benching. I wore a tank top. That usually helps because you'll move way less on the bench. There's more friction because your skin is sticking to the bench itself. And so I'm able to get a better arch, and I'm able to stay very stable on the bench. And I put a mat on top of the bench, and holy fuck, it felt like I was benching on a fat pad. It felt amazing. I think this was a 4x5, so I did 4 sets, or rather I had done 2 sets of 225, and then I finished with 2 sets of 230. Yesterday I did, I think, a 3x5 with 225, and it was a 3 count tempo, and that felt easier than what you guys just saw. I'm thinking it's the setup, it's a lot better. Anyways, deadlifts. You guys probably saw this on my Instagram. That was 485 and 505 paused right below the knee. And just from the variant that Alex prescribed to me, I can already tell why he did. I think it's because I have problems at lockout. I'm kind of quad dominant here in the sumo position. So once I get past my knees, it becomes really hard for me to lock out, which, you know, that's the reason for the pauses. The rest was a 10x2 of 425. Everything was really easy. I thought I'd feel way more fatigued doing the 10x2 as opposed to doing like a 4x5 or something, but it was incredibly easy. Even by the last set, I felt like I could literally rep it out for 7 more or something like that. I think average RPE was like 4 or 5. What I really like about having 10 sets is I can really play around with how I set up, and as I kept going on, I noticed a couple things. Two cues that I used was try to look up. I don't do that very consistently. I might have done it on only like 2 or 3 sets and just a couple reps. But every time I actually looked up right there and I stay upright, I felt a million times better. And the second cue was to try and keep my arms long, and that way be able to lock in my lats better. I think that set right there is probably the best example of that. Anyways, that's the video. That was training for this week. Again, I'm really pissed. This video could have been so much more, but I'll see you guys in the next one.